Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to In Our Community. We're visiting today with Bub Pratt in Hilo, Hawaii. Bub has a studio over there, and he's going to give us some educational stuff about music. Right, Bub?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about, telling you about all the, all the projects I'm working on and just kind of give you a little glimpse of life as a hyper creative in Hawaii.
Okay, very cool. Okay, it's on your. So we just met. We have this is the first time that Bub and I have met, and I don't know what questions to ask you about your situation. You're going to tell us about being a hyper creative in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Start telling us about it.
Well, I run this place called Kukuau Studio in the
Okay.
belly button of the world, and
Oh, is
my
Hawaii known as the belly button of the world?
that's how I know it.
Okay. Now
But
remember, I'm going to say on camera that we told you you're not allowed to promote your studio.
I'm not promoting. I'm just letting you know
Okay.
what I do. And
Okay, you're just giving us an educational show.
yeah, and
Okay.
I call myself my official job title is curator.
Okay,
So
good.
I curate this space, and we do a lot of recording,
Do you
record
bring in
artists.
other musicians or what?
Oh yeah, we bring in other musicians all the time to
So you
record or to play
you're a
live.
recording studio.
Yeah, we do. And we're also an event venue.
Okay.
And I also teach music here during the
Oh,
day.
I wish I could come over there, man.
Oh,
I'm
it's super
I'm
fun.
150 years old, so I probably can't. My wings are not as good as they used to be.
Yeah. I actually won an award, best in Hilo. They have those uh they have those best of
Yeah,
stuff
awards
in
all over
awards,
the
and
world. Yeah,
they're
yeah,
all
yeah,
over town. Yeah.
yeah,
So like restaurants and stuff will have them.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I won that for 2022 for music instruction. So that was kind
Okay,
of fun. But
very cool.
so we're working on right now. I'm working with an artist named Amalia Joy, who is
Okay,
recording her record. She's
okay,
she just released her first single yesterday.
okay. Now,
I'll send you a link to that.
have any of your people that you've recorded gone really famous or not?
Well, they've
Who do you think is the most well known?
Kylie Spark
Okay,
is actually she has a lot of fans, and we released her record. Oh shucks, about probably about a year ago now, and that's
okay.
been doing well. And I'm
What's
actually
her?
writing a musical about that whole situation, about that
Okay,
whole
what's her
project.
name again? I forgot it already.
Kylie Spark.
Kylie Spark. Okay,
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
okay.
And
Do you specialize in having women artists or anybody? And
um
do you do bands or do you do solo people?
all of it. Bands. We've recorded a 9-piece marimba ensemble.
Oh my God.
We've recorded bands here. We can do live recording too. So the we can hold like 150 people in the studio here. And so we'll set up the band. If they want to do a live record, for example, we'll set them up and record them while they have like an actual show. So
Okay, now give us some educational material. Like how do I do something? Pick a topic like how would I start learning guitar or how do I get a hold of a music studio to record or tell us how when someone is ready to be recorded in a professional studio.
that's
Something
a really good
educational. We don't
that's
want
a
to
really good
promote your
question. Yeah, that's a really good question.
okay.
And I run into that a lot with people.
Someone thinks they're ready and they're not ready.
Exactly. Yeah. So what you got to be able to do is you got to be able to play your song the same way twice.
Okay.
I remember it reminds me of this scene. Remember that old Richie Valens movie
Go
and
ahead.
a La Bamba?
I've
and
heard of it. Yeah.
his first day in the studio, their band is recording a song, and they probably played it like 50 times, and Richie could never play it the same way twice. And
Oh
so
my
they
God.
they were like they were like pulling, the engineers and producer was pulling his hair out because he's like, oh, this guy can't do it, you know. And then after a little bit, he finally got it. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's, I run into that. Also, I run into artists who have never sang a harmony before.
Okay. Now
And
tell those of us who are not musicians or musically inclined, what do you mean when you say that phrase?
well,
Are
let's
you
say
standing up or sitting down?
I'm sitting down on a
Okay.
wheelie chair.
All right.
Let's say a melody goes, let's say you got this one. And then you want to
Okay.
harmonize it. Do, 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 do. And so
Okay.
and so you have both those lines happening at the same time, and it
Right.
sounds really full and rich. And
Okay.
I like to and do a lot of third harmonies where
Okay.
you have three parts in a chord, a triad. You have the
Okay.
root, you have the third of the chord, and you have the fifth of the chord. So let's say like
Okay.
C chord, for example. This is the C, skip a note, and this is the E, and then this is the G. So you got those three notes to choose from, and that's harmony.
Okay.
When you have three or more notes, or two or more notes, I guess, that rub against each other in however you want them to harmonize. And so when you're singing, so let's say you're singing do 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 do, and then you got somebody else going, then you sing another track, do 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 do, and then you got another track, do 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 do, and when you get three, all of them going, you got do 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 do, kind of thing,
Okay.
for
Okay.
example.
Very
And,
cool.
and that kind of stuff makes for really good music and stuff. Your ears just like gravitate toward it when you hear,
Okay.
nice harmonies. So
Okay.
if
So
lots
tell
of times
me
I
a little
want to,
bit about you as a musician. You play around Hilo, Hawaii, right?
yeah, I I was born in
Uh,
Seattle,
Okay.
and
So we're going to establish that you were actually born.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay, we
and
got that.
I wasn't hatched.
Okay.
Um, and so I went to school for music out over there in
Okay.
Bremerton, Washington, and then
What do
moved
you
to
guys
Hawaii
call us? The
about
states or what? What do you guys call us over here in California?
the mainland.
The mainland. Okay. Because in England they call us the states.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I do shows for people all over the world. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Sometimes they call it this stateside or something too. But yeah. So then I moved to Hawaii 11 years ago
Okay.
and
You
started up.
started out by
Well,
playing clubs or what?
yeah, playing a lot of clubs, doing the singer songwriter thing, and then I studied jazz, and so now I do the singer songwriter thing, and I also am a jazz
Studio.
musician,
Okay.
and
Can you play a little bit for us? One of your favorite pieces that you know
yeah,
well? I would love to hear some music.
yeah.
It's not going to be studio quality, but I want to hear it because I
All
love
right.
music,
Well, how about I just play something?
especially love jazz. But do
Well,
whatever you want.
how about this one comes with a little story.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I like
So
it.
I was hired to bring a band for a put together a band for a wedding,
Okay.
and the couple who hired me said, we're taking dance lessons, so and all we know how to do is waltz. For our first dance, can you have it be a waltz? And I'm like, sure. So I'm playing with these jazz
Wait a
music.
minute. I want to ask you something. Um, Move your camera. I know it's the middle of the show, but my shows are always like this. Move your camera so your head is farther up. There, that's more than enough. That's good. That'll
Okay,
give us a better shot. I should have done that
that's cool.
three
Yeah,
hours ago, but
that's cool.
that's me.
So
All right.
so anyway, they said all we can know how to dance is a waltz so far.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And can you play a waltz for us? And so I like, yeah, sure, no problem. I know lots of waltzes, but I'm thinking of like wedding appropriate waltzes, right? Like,
Right. Right. Right.
but so I'm
That
like,
sounds beautiful.
so I'm like, my favorite things, these are a few of my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't really work, that's not
Okay.
really wedding
Okay.
appropriate.
Okay.
I was thinking, someday my prince will come, but the prince is already there, so that doesn't
Yeah.
really work either, right? So, so I found this tune called "A Child Is Born," and I'd
Okay.
never really heard it before, and but the lyrics weren't very good, and so I wrote my own lyrics to it and changed the name of it and called it
Now wait. I think I just remembered something. No, seriously, unless you own that song, we can't play it on the air.
I do own it.
You sure? You own the
Yeah.
lyrics and the music?
I I rewrote the lyrics and I
Give me an.
so
We
it
better
is
go with.
it's
We
an
better go
original.
with.
It's
Well, but
original.
if you borrowed the lyrics, I can't use
No,
it.
I didn't. I wrote the lyrics are original.
And the music, and the
Well,
words, and the
well,
words.
the chords they can't copyright chords. Yeah, it's coul,
All
man.
right.
I've done this one
All
before.
right. All right. Okay. Good. Go. Go. Go.
Okay. So I found this tune and then I changed the name. I rewrote the lyrics and changed the name to Wedding Waltz. And it goes
Okay.
like this. Lost deep in your eyes, spending our lives in truth and beauty. This love is surreal, moments in time is all we have till we part, and in the end we'll know we shared our hearts completely in life, taking your hand, shaking because I am lost deep in your eyes, spending our lives in truth and beauty. Oh, I'm lost deep in your eyes, spending our lives in truth and beauty. This love is surreal, moments in time is all we have till we part, and in the end we'll know we shared our hearts completely in life, taking your hand, and shaking because I am lost deep in your eyes, sharing our lives.
Very cool. Wow. Very cool. I think we're. I think we'll talk a little while and then have you do another song. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Because you sing beautifully. I like
Oh,
it.
thanks, man.
So
Thanks. Have a lot of fun.
tell me a story about one of your recordings that went well, that went very well, and then we're going to do the opposite with one that did very badly.
Um,
Tell me the well one first.
okay. The one there was this tune. This was with the Kylie Spark record.
Okay.
There was this tune that was really racy, and it's called
Yeah, you can't get too well. You can get a
yeah,
little
no, and
racy on here,
and it was really racy. It was called oh shucks, what was it called? It was called um oh, I can't believe I'm Hey Mister. It's called Hey
okay.
Mister. And she's singing it from the perspective of this woman, young woman in lust for like an older man. And and she was she's talking about like, you know, the slickness between her legs and stuff like that. And
I
then
think we're going to have to run this on Safe Harbor hours. It's
and
okay,
and
we
and
can do
and
it, but
and,
we
and
have
so
to.
I'm not going
We're
to
going
be
to have
any
to
more
run this
racy
at
than
11
that. But
o'clock.
she's talking about that, and so what I did was I turned it into like a dancey kind of like lo-fi club
Okay.
sound, and
Okay.
I started the song out with this little like water drip sounds.
Can you give it to us? Can you give us any of that or not? Is it too
Um,
complicated?
no, and plus that's her music, and I mean
You
I could
can't. No,
share
you're
it.
not allowed. No, we're not allowed to do that. We're not
I could
allowed to.
share it because I'm part. I'm kind of I'm involved with it, but it's you don't need to
But it
But
sounds. It
that was
sounds
one that
interesting.
went really good, and she
Okay.
heard that and she was like going, "Oh man," you know, from it's she just comes in with her little acoustic guitar and singing
Yeah.
this little song, and it turns into
Yeah.
this lo-fi dubstep dance thing, and
Right. Very
with
cool.
dripping sounds, water
Very
dropping
cool.
in water.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, and then
Okay.
a bad one, oh, actually just happened the other day, and there's again is like when the artist doesn't really know the song well enough, you know, and she's like she doesn't know where the melody starts, and she doesn't know what she couldn't really. I had to play the guitar part because it wasn't grooving, and then so I played the part, and she goes to sing it, and then she like doesn't really have it all like the melody put together and stuff, and so now that we have a code in the control room when the artist isn't as prepared as they should be, and we use the title of that song as an example, as a code word for saying let's change directions here. So that
Okay.
those are two stories. um but I have another fun story about a co-writing. I do a lot of co-writing too, and I was co-writing this record with this former student of mine who came back to me years later. He'd grown like 2 feet, and he's like taller than me now, and he said, Bub, I want to, you know, record a country album. I'm like, okay. So he's coming like once a week, every hour for an hour, and we wrote a few songs, and then he comes in one day and he says, Bub, I want to write a new country song, and I want it to be have this phrase, riding like crazy. I'm like, you know, like a horse, like you're riding like crazy, like a horse. And I'm like, okay, so why are you riding like crazy?
Okay.
He's like, well, I don't know. And he says, and I say, cause you just escaped from prison. And he's like, oh, cool. Okay. Yes. But why would you be in prison? You're such a sweetie cakes. You know, you're like, wouldn't harm a fly. And he's like, I have no idea. And then then he says, I said, oh, because you were framed for a murder you didn't commit.
There you go.
And
Good.
and he's like, whoa, okay. But still, that doesn't say why, well enough, because you're like such a good guy. Everybody just loves you, the minute they meet you, they just fall in love with you. It's so easy. And he's like, I don't know. I have no idea. You've lost me now, bub. I'm like, okay, well, I think, it's because a few years back you had been dating the sheriff's daughter.
Sounds like you're writing the song instead of him.
I did, really, yeah. And a while back ago, you were dating the sheriff's daughter, and she was she wasn't all that nice, and she wasn't very nice to be around. She was contentious, if you will.
This is fictional, we should say.
Oh, yeah.
We're making this up.
Oh, this is a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a story of how the story.
Yeah. I just want to clarify for the audience.
So you had to break up with her because she wasn't all that cool. But she, lost her marbles. She was a wreck for weeks, and one day when her dad was consoling her while she's leaving a puddle of tears, he promised that he would get her revenge for her.
I see.
Avenge her for her if he ever gets a chance.
Right.
And so that's why
like a country song.
And so I'm like, he's like, whoa, bub, you're like. So that's what the song will be. He's like, cool. And then I'm like, and I say, okay, so you're being chased by a posse because you just escaped from prison, and you're being chased by a posse who's probably gonna like tie you up and drag you back. So now what are you gonna do? He's like, and he thinks for a minute. He's like, I'm gonna ambush them and shoot them all dead. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're a lover, not a fighter. You know what I mean? You want people to be on your side here and rooting for you. You're not gonna do that. And he's like, okay, well then how do I escape? He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take this home and work it out, and I'll come back with it with an idea next week. And so I did that. I went home and I wrote this tune and named it.
You wrote it yourself?
Yeah,
he wrote it.
I wrote it. He just wrote the one word, the one phrase, riding like crazy.
Okay.
And I had to figure out why he was riding like crazy.
Right.
And so I came back the next weekend with this tune, and I called it The Good, the Bad, and the Lucky.
Okay. Cool.
I was riding like crazy. They never will take me back to that hole in the ground. The sheriff done framed me for killing John Davies, but that man was cold where I found him clutching his Bible in a ditch to the revival, fear frozen on his pale face. Oh, his pockets were empty by someone I didn't see, but the sheriff, he wants to make an easy case. Well, it sure doesn't help that I am the first man guilty of breaking a young girl's heart. This girl that I mentioned with a sweetness and contention is the sheriff's only daughter. Oh, it's been several years. He won't forget the tears and the promise he made that night. He said, I'll get that boy, steal every ounce of his joy for the tears. He made my princess cry. Now I'm running for the border. There's no law and order this side of the county line. My horse is getting tired. My eyes are on fire from riding hard all day and night. I hear murderous voices and a dozen snarling horses getting closer all the time. Oh, now I don't stand a something fast and give this posse the slip tonight. I came to a crossroads where the Colorado River runs shallow and wide. Through some divine providence, I found my deliverance in a skiff on the banks to the other side. Tied my lantern to the saddle and slapped my horse goodbye. Oh, floated down south all the way to the mouth of the river on the Mexicali side. I woke in a daze with the sun ablazing. Was it all a crazy dream? When three gorgeous angels with no common language carried me off the beach. They brought me back to life, and I made one of them my wife in a church just up the hill. Oh, now started life as Henry. Now that's a distant memory, 'cause here, may I'm a West McGill. No more riding like crazy. No more riding, no, like crazy.
Good for you. That
was
is
on my
cool.
record, actually, that I released in the last one. My last
One of your records? How many records have you released? Albums or just singles?
Yeah, albums. Two since I've lived on the island, and like 3 on the mainland. So, like 5 altogether.
Okay. So we're running
Maybe
out
more
of
than that.
time. So take care of yourself, and we'll do another show. I want to explore in the future what it's like for someone to come from, being a singer at home in their garage to becoming professional. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
process seems like something that a lot of young musicians would want to know.
that's a
So
good
we'll do it.
question.
We'll do another show some other day. I'm going to be moving, so I don't know when I'm going to set up my Zoom over there. But anyway, let's go. I'm going to stop the show.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been In Our Community, and we've been visiting with Bub Pratt, who is on the Hilo, Hawaii. And we'll talk to you later, bro.
All right.
Talk
You
to you
take care,
later,
Mark.
man.
Good
We'll
fun,
do
dude.
another show soon.
All right. Aloha.